Hey Cahscurlssfam, today I'll be showing you how I used a Revlon brush to straighten my hair. Here I just got out of the shower and I deep conditioned my hair, guys, for 30 minutes as I normally do once a week. I then took a cotton t-shirt and towel dried my hair, or t-shirt dried my hair. You want to make sure that your hair is mostly dry but just damp a little wet before using the Revlon brush versus using completely wet hair. This was a tip I learned from watching other people's Revlon brush reviews. So I'm just wringing out some of the water and making sure my hair is still damp but mainly dry. Once I was satisfied with my hair, I parted it down the middle, or however you would part your hair, depending on how you want it to be when it's straightened. And I used the She Silk Infusions in my hair. When you're using this, you don't want to apply too much, but you want to apply enough to each section that your hair is fully coated and will be protected from any heat damage that may occur due to the Revlon hairbrush or applying heat in general. It smelled pretty salon-like, and actually I kind of liked the smell, and as you can see, it even added additional shine into my hair. So I definitely would suggest this if you are going to be applying heat into your hair when styling. As you can see, I grabbed some more, warmed it in my hands, and applied it to the other side of my head, making sure each side would be fully protected and evenly coated. From here, I began to section off my hair so that when I am working with the brush, I'll be working in smaller sections, especially because of how thick my hair is. It's just easier to work in two sections. And again, I repeated the same steps onto the other side. So I divided my hair from the back and front and made another section at the top of my head, as I did on the other side, kind of just twisting it up into some form of a bun. There are different settings on the brush. I used the high for most of the time, although that has the most heat. I felt as though it would be better to swipe it through my hair once only versus using cool and having to continuously run it through my hair for a longer period of time. I was a little bit tired because this was filmed late at night, so that was what I chose to do, but you can feel free to use whatever temperature you're comfortable with. As you can see, I'm pulling the brush very slowly, forming a traction going the opposite direction of my hair. That way I'm getting the most out of each swipe through my hair. You want to keep in mind that you want to get as close to your roots as possible in order to really get that sleek look, if that is what you're going for, which is what I was looking for my hair this time around. As you can see, my hair is beginning to straighten out by looking at my ends. So I ran the brush through a couple more times and then left it alone because it doesn't need to be completely straight, since we'll be going in later with a straightener. At this point, I was satisfied with how straight it was and was ready to move on to the next sections. Can you guys see the shrinkage? Look at my curly hair side versus my straight hair side. That is just crazy. I repeated the same steps on the other side of my hair, and as you can see, the brush was working through my hair pretty easily, so I was quite satisfied with the brush. Okay, Cahscurlssfam, so at this point, the majority of my hair was blow dried. As you can see, it looks a bit crazy, but we are going to go ahead and fix that. I turned here so you can get an idea of the length of my hair. And here's where I did most of the work to really go into the fronts of my hair and make sure that I was getting them as flat as possible. The roots are the most important area when straightening your hair because that's the first area to get frizzy if not done properly. So I was just making sure I was really pulling at the hair and creating traction so that my hair could really straighten out flat. Off camera, I went through with a plancha or flat iron and just swipe through each section about 1 to 2 times. And these were my final results, guys. I was so shocked to see how long my hair has gotten. And I really, really loved the look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video and learning how to straighten your curly hair. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, Cahscurlssfam.